let's not like watch Instagram Reels right now. Today, I'm gonna be talking about the book I Love Dick by Kraus. I just finished the book today and I really enjoyed it, so I would like to talk about it for a couple of minutes. My voice is like really coarse because I think I have like a little bit of a cold or I'm getting sick. But honestly, I'm not sorry though. Like, I don't care. It's my YouTube channel and like it's not your YouTube channel, so like whatever. But anyways, I would like to talk about I Love Dick by Kraus, which is an epistolary novel. I think I'm probably saying that word wrong, but like in a way, I don't care. It's my YouTube channel. It's not yours. But I found the book really invigorating, and I was starting to get a little bit exhausted with reading like novels. Like, I read The Sluts by Dennis Cooper before this, which I very much enjoyed, and it also is an epistolary novel. Probably saying that fucking word wrong. Let's fucking kill her. She's the devil. But like, they're both epistolary novels. But the Cooper novel is set through like an internet form, and obviously I Love Dick, if you're unfamiliar with it, is Kraus writing these really intense letters to this man named Dick, and it's a novel about desire and schizophrenia in theory, which we love those nouns, right? Like, those nouns are like fantastic, especially compounded together. But it's such a like tantalizing book, like genuinely hard to put down. And I would like to talk a little bit about it. Took me a minute to move past it. I honestly have only read 3 books this month, which is really low for me. I just work a lot, and I don't really have much time unless I'm at home. And honestly, whenever I'm at home, I'm really tired and I'm just gonna go to bed. So I find it really difficult to read when I'm at home. I actually find it way easier to read when I'm out, which is ironic because I think everyone feels really insecure about reading when they're out because it looks like performative or whatever. See, like 2 videos ago, I have a note on that, but like, it actually helps me focus more when I'm not in my bedroom with all of the things that I like love most in the entire world to focus. So I find it a lot easier to read. I used to go read at like Barnesdale a lot. I like to read at work when I'm on my lunch and whatever, but the first kind of quarter of the book in relation to Eros, the Bittersweet, an essay by Carson, and then I would also like to talk about obviously the theory nature of it all with Deleuze and Guattari. I'm probably saying his fucking name wrong too. Let's just kill her. She's the fucking devil. But Deleuze and Guattari, she talks about like Baudrillard quite a bit. And then there's also just like these names in it. It's like a really name-droppy book, but not in the actual way, not in the actual like sense of the word of name-dropping. Like, it's very much just like she's tapped and she's based, and she was around when all of these tapped and based things were happening. So it's really interesting to read about. I would like to talk about 2 different aspects of the book. I would like to talk about the first quarter of the book, which I read with the essay by Carson called Eros the Bittersweet in the back of my head. And then I would like to talk about the theory aspect of I Love Dick, because it is considered the first piece of like theoretical fiction, I believe. In relation to Eros the Bittersweet, desire is sustained by separation, which she illustrates her point by talking about these kind of like the semiotics of culture in which 2 hands are like that one painting, the 2 hands that are reaching and they never touch. I think it's Da Vinci. I don't fucking know though. I like don't care about art at all, TBH. But there are all of these like semiotic kind of moments that define culture, and especially in relation to romance and matters of affection or love, whatever the fuck, where the most people resonate with something, if you'll notice, it is in relation to the emotion of desire. And desire is sustained by separation, and it is so palpable, and it will never be like as palpable upon the kind of like union. Like, and when I say union, I mean like the actual like meeting of the hands, or the meeting of the couple, or like the embrace. Like, it will never be as palpable as the feeling of longing for something, yearning for something. So I was reading I Love Dick with that in the back of my head. I kind of operate a good majority of my life with that essay in the back of my head. It's amazing. She compares like the Greek alphabet and the way the letters sound and the spacing between, like, it's just really beautiful. And I just really hold that essay close. It just really resonated with me for some reason. But upon reading I Love Dick, it's kind of the entire apotheosis of the first quarter of the novel. It starts off with this couple, Kraus and Sylvia. She's writing in 3rd person, which is funny because she acknowledges it multiple times throughout the book, that writing in 3rd person, especially as a woman, is like a way of like self-evasion and kind of being able to say what you want without giving people the luxury to kind of make fun of you or call you hysterical. It's also just a really interesting way to write, because people would consider the novel autobiographical, but I think it like far beyond extends that. And it's just a really interesting way of writing. But basically, Chris Kraus and her husband Sylvain meet this, I believe he's like a theorist, his name is Dick, and like Chris just develops this full-blown obsession with him and begins a one-way kind of correspondence between these letters and sending them to him. And they're fueled by this kind of separation and this desire that is only palpable because of the separation. And her husband actually like aids her in this because their marriage has been so stagnant for so long, and he kind of aids her in it until eventually she just leaves him because she wants to be with Dick so badly. She has the coolest fucking references in this book also. Like, it's considered the first piece of like theoretical fiction, which it definitely is that. She talks about Baudrillard a lot. She talks about Deleuze and Guattari, probably saying his fucking name wrong, but like Felix Guattari is like essentially a character for the last like quarter of the book, which is just like kind of funny because I have read Anti-Oedipus and a lot of like Deleuze's other work before going into this, and also like I'm not gonna say I've read a lot of Baudrillard, but I've definitely read some of it, so I'm familiar enough. So I don't know if it's actually inviting if you haven't already had those references prior, but and I also mean that in a very like unself-important way. Like I don't think I'm at all super knowledgeable on Deleuze or Baudrillard. I think I know the bare minimum, to be honest, but I do hold it closely and like resonate, I guess, with it. But like I wouldn't by any means like consider myself someone who's like incredibly like privy to like kind of like Deleuzian thought or like Baudrillardian thought, whatever the fuck, who gives a fuck. But like I think I know enough. So this reference, I don't think I'm the best judge of whether if someone were reading this book, for example, and they're reading it for kind of like the fiction aspect, whether the theoretical aspects would be too uninviting. And like I personally felt like she was incredibly lucid when talking about theory, and like if anything, which really means nothing, but she describes like Deleuzian thought like more clearly than Deleuze does, which is 100% like funny. And like I feel like, well, he's dead, but he would probably be self-aware about that too. Like the whole joke about Anti-Oedipus is that it's an incredibly hard to digest book, and like that's for a reason. That's kind of like how all fucking like postmodern like French philosophy is, right? But like they make it like needlessly wordy and confusing and whatever, but it's actually, I hate to say this, like it's quite simple to grasp. Especially like, I'm sorry, we're using the metaphor of schizophrenia and capitalism. Like if it's not clicking for you, then I don't know what to tell you. But I was familiar with the references, point being, and I don't know if someone wasn't familiar, like how digestible the latter part of the book would be, but I found it incredibly enticing. I also found it really funny because I was reading the novel without, I kind of went in blind to the novel. I just wanted to read it before seeing her at this reading tomorrow, and I would highlight things and annotate it and be like, this is very Deleuzian, and then the whole time, Felix Guattari is gonna fucking show up for dinner in like 40 pages, and I was like, oh, okay, so that makes sense. But I thought it was really funny. I also annotated it all. This is the first book I've read digitally in so long, so I have all of my annotations just on this like Dropbox like PDF. But I have all of these annotations where I've likened it to the Carson essay I was talking about, and then also like Deleuzian kind of thought. But I loved the book, and I'm really excited. I'm probably not gonna read Aliens and Anorexia by her right away after, but I have that book. I've been meaning to read it forever, but I'm probably gonna read like some Lydia Davis like short stories or something. I really want to read. I don't want to read a novel. I would like to read some short stories after this. Maybe that's fine. Maybe some essays too. That'd be fine. I just don't think I can do another novel right now. It has been really gratuitous though to read these two novels back to back because the novel I read before this also was The Sluts by Dennis Cooper. I don't think I provided that context. But the novel before was very like just, oh my god, like horrifying, and Dennis Cooper should like probs go to jail. Hyperbole, but like that man is like twisted, yeah, with a capital like T. But I much enjoyed the book, and I think he's a great writer, and I think I would like to read more from him. I just need to do more research to see what I want to read of his next. Same thing with Chris Kraus, but it's 100% going to be Aliens and Anorexia by her. But I need to take a break from the novel format because it's just, I work so much lately, and like I'm always going to be reading, but like the pacing isn't quite there, and I need to like settle in more to get it back to where it was. But I'm really happy with the books that I read this month, point being, and I'm really excited to see Chris Kraus read tomorrow. I'm really curious what that's going to be like. I wonder what material she's going to bring, and like, yeah, I'm just curious. It's also like with a lot of my contemporaries, so to speak, or by that I literally just mean people who are writers and they're my age, but like I'm incredibly curious to see how it all goes. But point being, I really enjoyed the book. I think you should read it, and if you don't, I don't care because this is my fucking YouTube channel.